Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing well. Today's video is going to be another gut health related video, and it is a big one because we're going to be discussing the crucial step in gut healing that honestly most people do miss, and this could be sabotaging your gut health on a daily basis without you even realizing it. So it's going to be a big one today, and listen, if you aren't already doing these things, get ready because we're going to seriously level up your gut health. When it comes to your gut health doesn't just start within the gut, like in your intestines. Your gut health actually starts in your mouth, right? So we have an oral microbiome, and if your oral microbiome is out of balance, this could be silently fueling your gut issues on a daily basis. Because what we have to remember is that we are swallowing our saliva all day, every day. And if you have the wrong microbes within your mouth and there's imbalances there, this, again, like I said, can be silently fueling your gut issues because you're swallowing the bacteria, and that bacteria can relocate and spread essentially to other microbiomes. So the oral microbiome is such a hub when it comes to our general microbiome health, but definitely our gut microbiome health. And when we think about oral microbiome support, it's not just about, oh, brush our teeth morning and night and that's it. That's a great start, but there's more to that you could be doing that can significantly improve that oral state, and because of that can really improve your gut symptoms. In fact, when I'm running gut tests with clients, there's certain microbes that come up, like for example staphylococcus, streptococcus, and even things like H. pylori that you see and that come up on gut test results. These microbes really do originate in the mouth. Like using H. pylori as an example, you pass H. pylori through saliva, okay? So if, let's say, someone's treating H. pylori, if you are not addressing your oral microbiome, that H. pylori can easily just keep on coming back, right? So it's so important that when you think about your gut health and you're improving your gut state, we're also looking at the larger picture here and looking at all of the funnels essentially that go into that gut health picture. Now, when it comes to discussions like this, a lot of people are very quick just to push it to the side and think, nah, I'm fine. I don't have any symptoms going on there. That doesn't, that's not as much of an issue for me. Honestly, you could not be more wrong. Even if you haven't got loads of raging symptoms, your mouth can still be a reservoir for these things, particularly if you're not following the most optimal dental hygiene. And the thing you need to bear in mind with bacteria hides, okay? There's something called biofilms, and the best way to explain biofilms is actually within the oral microbiome, because plaque, so when you get plaque build up on your teeth, that is biofilm formation essentially. And biofilms are basically where bacteria comes together. So imagine that plaque kind of built up quite hard. Bacteria hides in biofilms, okay? So if there's any plaque, even small little bits, sometimes you can't see it, to the eye, but the dentist can pick it up when it can't, they have a hygiene appointment. Even if there's small bits of plaque starting to build up, these are sites where bacteria can be hiding and clinging. And yeah, this is really starting foundations essentially for causing more dysbiosis in the mouth, which then drip feeds into our gut health, okay? The other thing I just want to say now as well is that within this topic, I just want to mention stomach acid as well, because stomach acid is almost like the guard between your oral microbiome to your gut microbiome. So one of the roles of stomach acid is to actually fight off and kill pathogenic bacteria to stop it going through. So I just want to make a point that if you know you have low stomach acid, or if you are struggling with any symptoms that do link to a weakened digestive capacity, supporting your oral microbiome is even more important, because if you haven't got that guard, that stomach acid that's there nice and strong to fight these things off, well then things are going to be passing through so easy. It's almost like the floodgates are open. Keeping good levels of stomach acid is also just as equally important when we're looking at this picture, okay? So let's start off with our toothpaste. So, I'm assuming everyone watching this is brushing their teeth morning and night every single day, and if you aren't doing that, well, sort it out. Now, when it comes to toothpaste, the general recommendation, the conventional recommendation, is a fluoride-based toothpaste. However, I'm definitely not on that camp. I'm not going to get into that big debate today because that is a big topic, but I'm just going to share my view on it, okay? So my view is the fact that firstly, we have far too much fluoride in our systems, okay? There's far too much in our water supplies and all the things that we consume. we are having more fluoride than we are designed to have, okay? In fact, I'm pretty sure it's banned in certain countries because of this. But one of my other concerns when it comes to fluoride in our dental products is that fluoride is also a halidide, and halidides can compete with iodine. So you can also see that it can start to affect thyroid issues in some people. Like if someone does have a diagnosed thyroid concern, I'm always like, switch to fluoride free. So I definitely am on the fluoride free camp, but the toothpaste that I use is the Gutology mineral toothpaste. And this is something that I just want to introduce, not necessarily just this brand, but the ingredients that are used in toothpaste like this. So this toothpaste is designed to nurture and protect the oral microbiome. So it is a toothpaste that has the oral microbiome in mind. And this is the really key difference, because a lot of the conventional toothpaste on the market, particularly the ones that contain fluoride or the standard brands, they are very, very harsh on the oral microbiome. A lot of them actually have a lot of antibacterial agents, and you know, the whole focus is, of course, you know, yeah, we want to kill bacteria, but you don't want to wipe out everything, okay? And that's the key thing, right? Think about it in the sense of the gut. Like, I know this is quite an extreme example, but you know, think about it from a gut perspective. You know, when you take antibiotics, you know, that just wipes everything out, and we have a good knowledge about, you know, the effect of antibiotics on the gut microbiome. We also need to take that same view, but into our oral microbiome, okay? So we don't want to be just continuously hammering our mouth with these really stripping, harsh agents, because they are also going to take the good bacteria away as well. So with these toothpaste, yeah, where they have the oral microbiome in mind, like this Gutology one, for example, this has added probiotics in it. So you also have some probiotic strains, mainly lactobacillus strains, which are going to help nurture and protect that oral microbiome. Now, the other thing I also want to highlight with these toothpastes as well is the hydroxyapatite. Now, hydroxyapatite is an ingredient which actually is very, very close and similar to our natural enamel on our teeth. So if you do also struggle with like a weakened enamel, has teeth sensitivity, that is a really, really great ingredient to have in your toothpaste, because it actually will help support and kind of re-nourish essentially the enamel. And I must say, I have really, really seen the benefits of that, because I definitely noticed that my enamel on my teeth was starting to wear away at the top, like particularly these back ones here, and I started to get some sensitivity. And then I started using the hydroxyapatite for, you know, consistency for a really long time, and now that sensitivity has pretty much nearly gone. And I will put down below some other toothpaste that I like I'm using Gutology at the moment, but there is also some other really good brands on the market, and so I'll list them down below as well. But I also just want to mention now, there is supplements on the market. Like, I know the brand in Vivo Healthcare, they do a fantastic oral microbiome supplement, and it is essentially like a mouthwash. So it's a probiotic, and you just mix it with a little bit of water, and you just pop that in your mouth, and you just swish it around your mouth. I think it's like for 20 seconds or 30 seconds or so, and then just spit it out, and then that will help to add all those lovely beneficial strains back into the mouth. So there is also products like that on the market, which are also great. Okay, speaking of things that you swish around your mouth, this next one is, it is a standout fave. Like, if there's one thing that you do from today's video, let it be this next thing, and that is coconut oil pulling. I'm really interested to know, does anyone watching this already coconut oil pull? I would love to know. This, I swear by this, okay? I first came across coconut oil pulling when I was in India. I was in India studying Ayurveda, and the doctor that was teaching me, I mean, firstly, I just need to say, I've never seen white teeth like it. Like, their teeth were just immaculate. So I'll get to that in a minute. So coconut oil naturally has some antibacterial properties, and it's actually very good at addressing streptococcus, which is actually one of the leading bacteria in the mouth that does lead to dental concern, particularly things like cavities, like gum disease and things like that. So yeah, it has gentle antibacterial properties, but also it really helps to break down like the plaque and help with plaque buildup, and also it helps with things like bad breath and all of these things. I mean, obviously it's working on the bacteria, and bacteria obviously is what also contributes to bad breath. So yeah, really good for that. Also great when people have like yeast overgrowth in their mouth as well, because coconut oil is rich in cupric acid. So cupric acid is also really good to help fight against yeast. It also is anti-inflammatory, so it's really, really good for gum health as well. Honestly, there's so many wonderful benefits of this when it comes to your dental hygiene. And also, just to add what I said earlier about white teeth, yeah, it does help to naturally whiten the teeth. And I, again, 1000% agree with that, because I have seen that in myself. Like when I am so consistent with my coconut oil pulling, like doing it daily, I see that immediately. I'm like, my teeth look whiter, brighter. Yeah, so it's definitely a great alternative to trying to like whiten the teeth. And one last thing, because people do ask me what kind of coconut oil do I get. This one here in my hands isn't one that I actually would have got myself, because I'm not actually a fan of buying like oils in plastic, because fats in general absorb from plastic. So bless him, Rob actually got this one, but I'm just using it because I mean it's not going to kill me, do you know what I mean? So I'm just using this at the moment with him. We're kind of working through it. But typically I recommend that you get one that's in a glass jar, and then I always get an organic coconut oil. So just trying to get a high quality coconut oil, but definitely I normally would go for one in a glass jar. So a few other little dental hygiene things as well is definitely flossing. I mean, that's just such a typical recommendation. I mean, your dentist tells you that probably every visit that you go, but make sure you are flossing between the teeth. So that's definitely important, like getting in between the teeth and the little tight spaces, because that's where bacteria is definitely gonna, you know, work its way in, and that's where problems start. But also tongue scraping. I actually left mine upstairs, and to be honest, that's kind of gross to even hold up on camera, but I'll put a picture of like what a tongue scraper looks like. But yeah, definitely tongue scraping is a big one, because your tongue is a huge reservoir. Reservoir. I feel like I'm like saying W's and reservoir. But yeah, it's a huge reservoir for bacteria buildup. So tongue scraping is also super important. Also like for breath as well, like because bacteria really clings onto the tongue. If you aren't tongue scraping, well, it kind of makes my back go funny, because I'm just like, ooh. Like bad breath, okay? Tongue scrape, get that stuff off. Okay, the next tip is for any of you guys who wear a retainer. So if you don't wear a retainer, then you can skip to the next tip. But I do wear a retainer. I had braces when I was younger, so to keep my teeth nice and straight, I definitely need to wear a retainer here and there. But this, oh my God, obsessed with this. And actually, funny enough, it was actually an Instagram ad that kind of made me aware of this, because I actually hadn't thought about this when it came to the retainer. But I don't know if you guys have seen it too, but have you seen the ads where it's like the retainer, they say if you're not cleaning it properly, the bacteria can harvest in the retainer, and then you're wearing that all night, and then the bacteria can be obviously going into your teeth, and you know, so on, your dental health is declining. So I saw that and I was like, oh my God, because I used to wash my retainer, like clean it with a toothbrush, but the whole point was, well, the toothbrush isn't getting into all the cavities. So I immediately got one of these. I actually just got one off Amazon though. It wasn't the one that, you know, you see in all the ads. I think it was around the £40 mark, so it wasn't anything crazy expensive, but this is so good. So basically you just fill it with water, you put your retainers in, you plug it in, and then you press the clean button. There's different like options for how long you want to do it, but it uses like UV light, I believe. Yeah, it is UV. So it has like a certain frequency and UV light basically that goes on, and it basically kills all the bacteria in your retainer, and it also like brings up your retainers so well. Like this thing works, and when you see that, it then also makes it click like, oh my God, yeah, the bacteria that actually must be on that, if like that is how much this is cleaning it. So when you see it, like it work, you're like, I will never not use this again in my life. Like this is an absolute staple now. Okay, and the next thing that you can be doing to support your oral microbiome is also making sure that you are not mouth breathing. Now, I feel like mouth breathing is having its moment at the moment. I said that in a video recently, moment in the moment. But anyway, I feel like it really is having its moment, because a lot of people are into like mouth taping, and I feel like it's become almost a bit trendy, like on social media. Like you keep on seeing these people do the videos like the morning shred, and they're like taking off their, you know, heatless curlers, their mouth tape, you know, this bandages up their face, you know, the whole outing. But yeah, mouth breathing actually is really important when it comes to the oral microbiome. So, well, not doing it is important, because when you mouth breathe, you are going to dry out your mouth. So you're going to dry out your saliva, and saliva actually has a really beneficial role within your oral microbiome, because saliva naturally has a lot of natural antibacterial properties. So if you are drying that mouth out, then you are actually going to be creating more of a breeding ground for unwanted bacteria to thrive. Now, a little bonus if you're still watching this video and if you've made it to the end, and if you do, thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Now, something you can also combine with coconut oil pulling is if you do have an active with like infection or an issue, like for example you've got some yeast overgrowth happening in the mouth, or yeah, you've got an infection, I don't know, in the gums or something like that, you can add certain oils, like for example oil of oregano. You could add a drop of oil of oregano into your coconut oil and then swish it around the mouth, and then you can add even more like, you know, herbal remedies essentially to that, because oil of oregano is an antimicrobial, and it essentially, yeah, it's another agent to help fight that, you know, infection causing bacteria. Or like take candida for example, it can be also anti-yeast as well and help fight a candida overgrowth. So there is other things that you can play around when it comes to the coconut oil pudding, but they are just very like short-term things. Like you wouldn't do that for more than like 7 days for example, right? But yeah, just mentioning there is also other things you can do in that realm. I really hope that this video has been interesting, insightful, and hopefully there's a few things that you're going to take from this video and put into your own like dental health routine. If you enjoyed the video and you want to show my channel some support, please do give it a thumbs up. And also if you're new to the channel and you want to see more from me, then also make sure that you are subscribed and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Anyway, I hope you guys are well and I will see you in my next video. Bye!